Hello, Twinks, Twunks, and Twiddle Thumbs. My name is TB Sky, and welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV, where we are on an ongoing quest to get the hell out of a realm reborn. Which is going a little bit slowly, but still we're having fun in the process. And I think about right now, it is the time that we take Brick here, and we go and do whatever the main quest is, which is the Price of Principles, which is happening in Thanalan at the Sands. Because, fun as it's been to meddle around in the patch content, the little side quests and stuff, it's time we made some damn progress.
Brick, it pleases me to see you well.
You excuse me for interrupting, Brick. My lady, the gentleman from Ashkana Rexporch has just left. I understand now why you didn't want to receive him.
You did well, Tataru. Please inform the guards that we will not be receiving any further guests this evening.
Thank you, my lady.
Ever since we defeated Gaius van Belsar and destroyed his ultimate weapon, the eyes of the world has followed our every move, scarcely remembering to blink. Where once we worked in secret with precious few friends and all too many enemies, we are now besieged by benefactors, each one more eager than the last to offer his complete support. A true embarrassment of riches. Of course, every promise of patronage comes with a price. Some make their intentions known from the start, while others endeavor to engage us more subtly. Address it how they will, the message is ever the same. We shall help you, but only if you help us. The gentleman Tataru spoke was more brazen than most. In exchange for certain supplies, he would have us resolve a business dispute. Naturally, I refused him, as I have every other merchant of his ilk. Alas, the Syndicate's overtures are not so easily rejected. When we formed the Scions of the Seventh Dawn, it was with the goal of serving Eorzea, not the interests of individual Eorzeans.
Yes, it was with the interest of serving the people.
Our neutrality is fundamental to our cause. In my heart, I know this to be true, and yet, if accepting these offers of patronage could empower us to do greater good, might they not warrant greater consideration?
Well, yeah, see, that's how they get you, you know? It's like you start doing something, you're doing something that's really good, and you start making waves, and all of a sudden you're in a position of, like, influence, and maybe you could actually start to make some real change in the world, and that's when all the established powers show up at your door going, oh, man, like, we love what you're doing. Like, we really love it. We think it's so good what you're doing, and we really want to get involved. Like, we want to support the cause, and, like, but you know, we just want to make sure that you're not, you know, getting into something that, like, we want to offer, like, consultancy support, and we want, like, we'll set you up with, like, a really great management agency, and, like, we'll, like, don't you worry about it. We'll take care of everything, and don't you worry about anything, and then, like, cut to 6 months later, and you are now a tool of the system. That's how it goes. And this is always the bargain. Right? Like, oh, you could have, like, we are the establishment, and we will offer you access to all of our benefits and our powers, so long as you maybe hold off a little bit, just a little, we don't have to stop. You don't have to stop. Obviously, you don't have to stop. You just have to hold off for just a second, like, on anything that might, you know, inconvenience the establishment. Just hold off on it. You don't have to stop. Just, like, hold off for a second, and then hold off a little longer, and a little longer, and a little longer, and oops, you are now entirely dependent on our support, and you can no longer refuse our demands.
Whoopsie doopsie.
Our Baldesian colleagues have been generous beyond measure, but we cannot expect them to. Forgive me, I did not mean to burden you so.
I have, like, 4 million gil. I could help.
Yet, my urge to share this dilemma may not be wholly misguided. Might impose upon you to consult the others. They are like to have their own opinions on the matter.
You could talk to them yourself. Like, what do you do all day? You're just sitting here. But no, like, yeah, that's how it goes. Like, the more attention and influence you get, the more eager like any existing power structure. That's not just capitalism. Like that's just not just the like sort of Western neoliberalism. It's any power structure. The more eager you will, like the more eager the power structure that is present will become to incorporate you and recapitulate you, so that you are no longer a challenge to it. And that goes, like, communist regimes do this as well. Well, communist. There's never been a communist regime, actually, but you know what I mean. Purportedly communist regimes do the same thing.
Recall you meeting with the Admiral shortly after the Laminsons sent word of the summoning of Titan? Then mayhap you also recall my words to our host. I said unto Merlwip that her people had broken the treaty with the Kobolds, and that the Beastmen had justly responded, that we had been called to intervene in a conflict which she herself had invited. I spoke, in short, the truth. And wherefore did I speak? Because, owing no allegiance to Limsa, I felt no compulsion to allow the Laminsons to distort the facts to fit a narrative which justified their actions and absolved them of guilt. Upon this subject, Minfilia can expect a similar reply. Our many dalliances with the city-states have already weakened our claim to neutrality, but the path she contemplates would see us relinquish it entirely.
Fortune begets power, and power fortune. That we, especially you, have power is beyond doubt. The question is what to do with it. You may be interested to know there's a growing belief among the refugees that Alamigo could be liberated, if only the Scions would commit their strength to the cause. Yet theirs is one of many causes. We stand at a crossroads, Brick. Each path is paved with good intentions, but where they lead is far from clear.
I've been receiving a lot of gifts lately, but Papa Limo keeps making me send them back. It wouldn't be so bad, but some of them are really nice. I mean, very nearly abandon your principles nice, you know?
None can deny that we would benefit from more support, but if it comes at the cost of our principles... Neutrality was ever a delicate matter. I've lost count of the times I've had to explain to people that our allegiances need not necessarily lie in the same place as our headquarters. Mind you, if we are to sell our services for Gil, we might as well declare our fealty to Ul'dah now and have done with it. I'm quite sure Ida would enjoy the bribes.
'Tis the lot of the powerful to attract the covetous as well as the needy. Thus doth prudence dictate that those with power proffer aid with one hand, whilst the other resteth ever on their hilt. Alas, we have not the luxury of time to decipher our petitioners' machinations. Nay, not while the beast tribes do labor unseen, defiant in defeat, to raise up their fallen primals once more. Doubt not that they shall return, stronger and bolder both, nor that we shall be the ones to meet them. This sacred charge shall ever be ours. 'Tis but a pity we are so few, and our fortune so finite. Yeah, but on the other hand, fuck the rich, Frank. Like, at this point, we've saved the world like 9 times. With the resources we have. Maybe we're fine. Maybe accepting the limitations that come from not having that much money to throw around is okay.
The situation is not wholly unexpected. I too have given much thought to our organization's future, though it would seem I have reached a different conclusion. Mayhap it's time that I made my feelings known to the antecedent. Come along, Breck.
Oh yeah, let's listen to the 17-year-old. He's gonna have great ideas.
Alfino, Brick, is autumn is. You decide council, and so you shall have it, Minfilia. The Scions of the 7th Dawn must leave Ul'dah. We must do what? So long as we remain within Ul'dah territory, we will never be free to act with impunity. Moving our headquarters to Vesper Bay only delayed the inevitable. We have demonstrated our capabilities and the Syndicate has taken note. They will not suffer our organization to remain independent now. We're far too dangerous for that.
Just fucking Brick's crotch, like right there. Just a crotch shot right next to this serious dialogue. Oh, Lord.
Surely you realize they are the reason Vesper Bay still lacks an ether, right? They know full well how beneficial one would be to our cause. Which is why it and other favors will be denied us unless we cooperate. Ul'dah is no longer suitable. Where would you have us go? Experience has taught us that the appearance of neutrality is as important as the reality. Accordingly, we must keep each of the great nations at arm's length and plant our banner in a place which all agree to be beyond their borders.
Space!
Oh.
Mordona. Revenant's Toll, to be precise. It lies within neutral territory and offers all the essential facilities we require. By way of an additional benefit, it is also frequented by a veritable legion of adventurers who may serve to supplement our ranks. I am, of course, conscious of the fact that we've developed a certain bond with Ul'dah and her people over the years, but I truly believe this to be the best course of action. As you yourself observed, we have invaluable ties to the local community, forged through years of concerted effort. Ul'dah's our home, Alphino. To cast aside everything we have built and start anew in that desolate wasteland would be beyond reckless. Well, the decision is yours to make, Antecedent. I only ask that you recall the shared purpose which first moved us to found the Scions of the Seventh Dawn, and which moved you to found the Path of the 12, you're that. We aspire to an ideal, you and I, just as my grandfather did. That makes us more than mere comrades in arms. We're as much family as... That will be all, Alphino. I'm sure you have some familiar affairs of your own to attend to. Well, the concern is most generous, but no, I've left them in the hands of men better suited to the task than I. I could not very well allow my personal affairs to come before the needs of the Order, after all.
You catty little bitch! That was a passive-aggressive little jab. Now that ring wasn't better than what I have. No, not at all. Fun fact, at the time of this patch, Mordona was basically a bunch of tents and the bar. As the patches went, it would grow until 2.5 where it reached the state that it is now. Ah, that sounds cool. That would have been fun to experience.
Leave Ul'dah? Has it truly come to this? Oh, Brick, pray attend to Alphino. He is engaged in some business and requires your assistance. Pray be on your way. Alphino waits upon you, and I have much to think about. Oh, and tell him he shall have my answer in due time. Ba, 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 ba.
What's up?
Confound it. She knows what must be done, and still she hesitates.
Yeah, it's called being a person, Alphino. You should try it sometime.
All because of these fanciful rumors. I should explain. Minfilia's mother, well, adoptive mother, was among the great men who perished in the calamity. Flamin was her name, though you may know her better as the songstress of Ul'dah. She was a performer of singular talent and much beloved by the people of Eorzea, not to mention a certain charlatan and minstrel. As you may imagine, the news of her passing was greeted with shock and disbelief by her adoring followers, many of whom refused to acknowledge what had happened. That her body was never found only served to encourage speculation. Minfilia, too, struggled at first to accept the truth, but as Flamin's absence stretched from months into years, she saw that there could be no other explanation.
That's the kind of thing that sounds like she's still alive, or a zombie, or has been turned into a robot or something.
Until recently, at any rate. For whatever reason, rumors have once again begun to circulate that Flamin is alive and well. One of our informants, Father Iliot, has sent word that a woman matching the songstress's description has been seen of late at a seaside resort of Costa del Sol. If we could succeed in tracking her down, I have no doubt that any worries that now plague Minfilia's heart might be assuaged. I mean to set forth for Lanasia at once. Let us reconvene there and inquire with Masakekaruju as the veracity of these rumors.
Hey, Mom. Dead Mom, I need a little help here. Am I just talking to myself here? But Dead Mom, I've gotta ask, are you really in the ground? 'Cause I feel you all around me. Are you here, Dead Mom? Dead Mom. Dead Mom storylines. Such a staple of fantasy. He's not gonna be downstairs from here, is he? Alfino. There you are.
Oh, sweet siren of the sands, my Mikoran muse, why have you forsaken me?
Titan's Bane! I mean, Brick! What brings you to my humble resort? Flamen? You mean to tell me the goddess made flesh who dwelt among us until so very recently was the songstress of Ul'dah? Hey, gats, man, if I'd known that, I would have changed...
Okay. Let's try that again.
If I'd known that, I would have chained her to my bedpost and never let her...
Can I kill him? Can I just, Okay.
Chained her to my bedpost and never let her leave. Oh, for shame to think that she now plies her trade for the riffraff off to the west, or wherever she said she was going. It's a tragedy! A tragedy, I say!
West, is it? Thank you, Master Kikuruju. Your information will serve us well. That said, there are a number of places she could be. I shall begin my search by the docks and see if any witnesses might have some knowledge to spare. I would be most appreciative if you could travel on to Wineport and do the same.
This little shit. You little motherfucker. You don't fucking just casually say that about a person. Jesus. There's a difference between being like sort of horny and then like imply sexual slavery. That's like a step further in the wrong direction.
Well, Venus and Breck, the savior of Wineport, to what do we owe the pleasure?
Oh, wait. Should I give him like, yes, we did receive a customer matching that description. No, let's not do that.
She was a delight to behold, to give the woman her due, but her performance was so ghastly I had no choice but to eject her from the premises. Interfering with tasting, you understand? If she's your quarry, why not consult with your blind associate? His olfactory perception is without peer. Given that I could smell the woman from a mile away, I dare say he could smell her from
Is she a zombie? Is that what this is gonna be? Is she a zombie? Has she been zombified? And now she's like a wandering corpse and we have to kill Minfilia's mother or something? That would be great. Wonderful. Woo! Cool.
Yeah. You wish to know if I've seen a Makoto lass by the name of Flamen? I wish. I haven't seen a lass of any description for far too bloody long.
TFW, no GF. GF, rather.
I see you've had many grand adventures since last we spoke, Brick. You must share them with me sometime. The girl from a little while ago. Oh, one does not forget a perfume like that. So robust and intoxicating, yet simultaneously familiar. Reminiscent of a bloom native to these parts, in fact. I said as much when we spoke. She complimented my powers of observation and asked me where she might find some of the flowers. So I told her to follow the road south into Raincatcher's Gully and then head east after crossing the second bridge. The flowers which grow in the shade of the cliff have the strongest scent, you see. If you make haste, you may yet find her there.
Righto. Down south we go. A problem World of Warcraft had when it first introduced flying was that many of its environments, like most of them in fact, were never ever designed to be flown through. Like they were designed to only be seen from very certain angles with lots of cliffs and terrain placed specifically to block people from being able to see outside like the boundaries of the designed environment. And one thing that is pretty impressive about Final Fantasy XIV is that it has done a really, really good job of, even though I imagine flying was not necessarily planned, well, I mean, I don't know, when they first created the game, that there's never really been a moment where, like, I'm flying up high and all of a sudden I'm seeing things that, like, oh, this is clearly, like, some unfinished nothing nonsense. Like, there's always, like, you always get, like, the sense of, okay, there's terrain beyond here. Even if it's terrain where, like, nothing's happening, there is terrain. So you don't sort of get that, like, sense of peeking behind the curtain at Disneyland, you know? Oh, hey, Minfilia's adoptive mom is not dead. Great.
I'm in your debt, stranger. I did not realize my activities had aroused the Gobu's ire until it was too late. Their oils can be used to make perfume, you see, and Lamin? I don't... Who are you? Whom do you serve?
Well, it appears you've already found our woman. Consider me impressed, my... Please don't phrase it like that. The songsters of Ul'dah, I presume? Minfilia, or should I say Asilia, is looking for you.
Asilia?
You are the very picture of health, milady. Yet the world thinks you dead. I can only conclude that this was by design. The question is, why?
Well, not everyone who endeavors to find me does so with the best intentions, child. You will be pleased to know that I fully intend to reveal myself to Minfilia when the time is right.
Oh, well, that does please me. More than you'll know. But tell me, sojourns in the forest of Lanasia aside, when exactly will the time be right?
When I deem it so. Do you imagine I traveled all this way on a whim? As I was telling your associate prior to your intrusion, I came here to harvest these flowers for use in a perfume. Does that satisfy your curiosity, or would you interrogate me further?
Yeah, kick his ass! My apologies for the interruption. Anyway, now that we all have that which we came for, might we continue this conversation in a safer locale? Wineport, say? Well, this is not at all how I had envisioned it. I can scarce begin to imagine what emotions will go through Minfilia's heart when she reunites with her mother after all these years.
You say my daughter awaits us in West Bay, yes? I've kept her waiting long enough. Let us be off on the next ferry. I can finish fashioning the perfume along the way.
Understood. Come with me. It will be my pleasure to escort you to the Waking Sands. La la la! Oh, hey, they just teleported me back. Nice, thank you. Hey, Minfilia, get this! Your mom's not dead! I mean, probably. Unless this is like a demon clone or something. I don't know. I haven't really checked into it, but we brought her inside anyway. Antecedent, you have a guest.
Armin? Cilia?
By the way, like, just pretending to be dead is, like, kind of abusive towards your child, a little bit. It's like it's a very shitty thing to do. You need a damn good reason.
I haven't seen her like this in years, prick. I never truly believed it when they told me you were dead, but what kept you away for so long?
I believe Male Jade is a foster mom, yeah.
Oh, the Imperials came for me, as I always knew they would. And so I resolved to stay as far away from you as I could, lest their pursuit of me endanger you and our cause. I could think of no better way to grant you the freedom to continue our work. And continue it you did, achieving things I would not have imagined possible. I followed your every success and celebrated in secret.
I mean, at some point, like, after they've murdered everyone in the Waking Sands the first time, and we, like, busted, like, maybe at that point you could be like, okay, the Imperials, like, maybe the ones pursuing me are not gonna go after her anymore. Like, maybe we could, like, we probably reunite at this point. It's fine. But no, okay, yeah, I guess you wanted to put that off another 12 to 14 months. That's fair.
I'm so proud of you, Cilia. I learned from the best. I have a gift for you.
That would be the perfume, then.
Sossetia perfume. You remembered. How could I ever forget? You wore it all the time. If I ever lost sight of you, I could find you again just by following my nose. I did not think it was made anymore. You must have gone to so much trouble. It was no trouble to me, my darling. I fear I cannot say the same for Prick, however. I would not have made it without him.
Another reason why maybe you should have stuck together, because, like, if you're about to get taken down by some random monster out in the wilderness, lady, you could have used a bodyguard or something.
Thank you, Prick. Thank you both. There's something else. This is the cat's eye I found. After all these years, you kept it. My father was a member of the Alamegan resistance. When I was yet a child, he brought me here to Ul'dah. The accident which claimed his life happened shortly after our arrival. It was Lamin who took care of me then. She raised me as her own, taught me everything I needed to know to survive.
Huh. I'm no stranger to the facts of your history, yet I fear I've failed to grasp the implications. It's clear that there's much I do not know about you and your mother both.
One of her first lessons to me concerned mining, and I was a very dedicated student.
Yeah, she bought her first crypto rig, like, right then and there and set it up in the living room. Absolutely grinding out that Bitcoin.
This cat's eye was the first stone I unearthed. It wasn't much, of course, but I was exceedingly proud to have found it anyway. So I gave it to Lamin as a gift. She said it was beautiful, but there I am at a loss. Why are you returning this to me? Is something amiss? No, Asilia, nothing is amiss. Quite the opposite. I need you to realize how far you've come, and how further you must still go.
It really is a little bit of a thing of, like, she looks the same age as Minfilia. Like, could you not have created, like, a face texture that has a wrinkle on it? Like, just the one? Just a wrinkle somewhere. Like, just a sign of any kind of aging like, just in terms of the character design, it feels like this is something that, like, it's kind of, if you watch my Mass Effect playthrough, you might have noticed me commenting on this as well, but in Mass Effect, every single woman NPC, all of them have exactly the same body, and it's exactly the same sort of tight, fit, athletic, 20-something body with absolute, like, no sagging, no bulging anything, like perfect sort of, and, like, doesn't matter what age they are, like, old ladies, young ladies, like, they all have exactly the same body. And, like, that's just a production thing, right? Like where you sacrifice some flexibility in the character design you can do on the NPCs in favor of being able to generate, like, 100,000 of them easily, like, without having to load more assets into the game, without having to craft more, like, without having to adjust animation rigs, without having to bother, like, it cuts down a lot on work to do that, so reuse of assets is normal. But that's, like, character mod, like, textures, you can make custom textures for things. You do it all the time. You could give her, like, a custom face texture that's, like, that doesn't look 14 years old. Just saying.
You and your allies have accomplished so much more than I could ever have hoped. You have succeeded where I failed and made me so proud that the words fail me. But even as I marvel at the woman you've become, and all the many things you've done, I cannot help but think of that which you have yet to do, and of what that may entail. Asilia, daughter, you cannot stay here anymore. You and the Scions must leave Ul'dah. Lamin. You built it once, Asilia. You can build it again. And this time, we'll do it together.
There is a nice little bit of character design coherence between the two of them. And I wonder if anyone else has spotted it.
Truly.
It's the color. Like, they wear the exact same pink color on their outfit. And that's like a nice little thing that draws, like, a visual connection between them. Which is, like, that's a very simple thing you can do in character design. It's just, like, to use colors to draw a connection between two characters.
Alphino, the time has come for the Scions to leave Vesper Bay. We shall establish a new headquarters in Revenant's Toll, as you proposed. Much work lies ahead of us. Inform our fellow Scions and send words to the students of Baldessian. Preparations begin at once.
She looks 16. Like the character design is doing a good job. Like the dress they chose, like the white hair, the glasses, that all sort of helps age her up a little bit. But just like when you look at the texture, when you look at the construction of her face, is like, oh my god, I cannot buy this as an older woman. I just can't. She looks so young. La 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 la.
It's all well and good that we found ourselves a new home in Revenant's Toll, but there's so much to be done, and in so little time. Our first step would be to secure the cooperation of the Adventurers Guild representatives there. Were it not for the Guild's considerable efforts, the original Camp Revenant's Toll would never have been established, much less its more heavily fortified successor. However, with the construction still ongoing and resources in short supply, it seems certain that the Guild will require something in return for their support, sympathetic to our cause though they may be. Whatever they ask, I shall not begrudge it. To be plain, we need them more than they need us. Without their assistance, such essential tasks as securing new facilities, cultivating relationships with local merchants, and recruiting adventurers will prove difficult, if not impossible.
You need not concern yourself with such matters, antecedent.
Really, Alphino, if I need to concern myself with anything, it surely is matters such as these.
Yeah, but he's a dick, so...
Well, indirectly, perhaps. I submit that you might instead concern yourself with a different matter, namely, to whom the resolution of such matters might best be entrusted. And here I am.
Jesus Christ, you little bit. Like, he's such a little asshole. Like, wow.
Nor do I come alone. May I present the esteemed emissary of the Adventurers Guild at Revenant's Toll.
My dude.
That is an honor, antecedent. Upon receiving word of your intentions from Master Alphino, we thought it best to begin talks at the earliest available opportunity. Know that my associates at Revenant's Toll hold the science of the Seventh Dawn in the highest regard. We should be honored to welcome your organization.
There are, of course, certain provisions which must needs be negotiated. If it please you, I would do so.
It does.
It doesn't please me. Like, shut him the fuck up. Like, someone has to kick this kid's ass at least one time.
Sir, unless I am much mistaken, you are the one known as Brick, are you not? May I say what a pleasure it is to make your acquaintance? Slothborn spoke of you in the most glowing terms. To steal an Imperial Reaper and then use it to infiltrate a Gallian castrum is an undertaking few would contemplate, and fewer still survive. You shall always be welcome at Revenant's Toll. I hope you will favor us with your presence again ere long.
Well, it would seem your reputation precedes you, Brick.
Yeah, I killed the ultimate weapon, Minfilia. Like, how? Of course people know.
Mayhap I should dispatch you to Revenant's Toll with all haste as first intended. But before that, I dare say you've earned yourself a rest. After all, you've traveled so far, and there's already so much you've done for us, and for me. We will speak again anon. Till then, take care.
I think they gave enough context that I didn't hate him at this point, and they really further cement his background and relative intellect throughout the expansions, but he's definitely not infallible. Yeah, he's a little shit, like... And by the way, I say this not as a thing of, like, I don't like the character. I do like the character. I like that he's a little asshole. Like, that gives him a personality.
Ah, Brick, were you able to get some rest? I would ask you to come with me to the Solar. Alphino has just returned, and it would seem there's something he would share with us.
You're here. Good. I come bearing news. The negotiations are concluded.
And
Our friends at the Adventurers Guild have agreed to furnish us with new facilities and material support in exchange for our assistance in the ongoing defense and development of Revenant's Tull.
He will eat a big humble pie later. Good.
Excellent.
That's also kind of necessary for his character. Like, in terms of, if I were to think through the kind of character arc he needs to have, it would make sense for me that he's like this kid who's involved in all this big stuff early on, and everything seems to be going well, and all of his plans sort of end up working out in the end, and he succeeds a lot. And it kind of like, the natural place to take that character arc is to give him like a big punch in the face at some point that he kind of has to reckon with, like, to deal with his ego, and see if he can move himself past it and like develop as a character. To break him in half, essentially.
The Scions of the Seventh Dawn shall have a new home in Mordona, the Rising Stones.
a bittersweet victory, if truth be told. I cannot deny that I've come to look forward to Tatterud's tale of our many guests and their many, many demands.
From the waking sands to the rising stones. Passably poetic. That wasn't your doing, was it?
I too have news to share. In expectation of this momentous day, I personally informed the Alliance leaders of our plans, and they have each pledged their full support, General Raban included.
Alphino so badly wants to be his grandfather. Yes, he does. That's the thing, is like Alice is obsessed with saving her granddad. Like, she's obsessed with, like, preserving her granddad's legacy. Alphino, as you very rightly observed, Alphino really wants to be him. Like, oh god, he wants to be that mentor figure, like, leading the charge and, like, laying all the plans. He wants it so badly. I can't get over Brick's glasses, just that little bit of anachronistic design choice with such a delicate object on a furry mountain of muscles. An item associated with educated scholars in the body of a brutal warrior. That's the point. Like, that's the point of him. Like, I want Brick as a character. Like, he's like a himbo man-slut, but he reads books. Right? Like, he's a dumb fucking idiot, but he can quote poetry. That's the kind of character I want him to be.
Moreover, I have decided that the time is right for us to cast off the vestiges of our order's veil of secrecy and announce ourselves to the world.
Are you sure that's wise, Antecedent?
If anything, it's a mere formality. Our existence is possibly the worst-kept secret in Eorzea. Let us affirm our identity, proclaim our achievements that all may know what the Scions of the Seventh Dawn stand for.
Well, obvious risks apart, it would be nice to receive a little more recognition.
And the people have a right to know who saved them. It is my hope that this gesture will encourage the people of Eorzea to place their trust in us. I would reveal to them the true extent of our power, yes, but in so doing I would show them that it is a power accountable to no one and at once to all. And what of you? We who have felled primals and faced down the Empire.
What of us, she says.
To you, my fellow Scions, I would say this. Prepare for the challenges which lie ahead, for they will be great indeed. Great, I say, yet no greater than us, and we will rise to them, as we have time and time again, united as one.
There must be some way I can... Wait, that area is said to be rich in minerals. Maybe I should ask Flammy to teach me the basics of mining too.
Do you ever wonder how he does it? Alphino, I mean. It was almost predictable that he should appear with an emissary of the Adventurers Guild mere moments after I had expressed the need to forge ties between our organizations. Truly, his sense of timing rivals even your own.
It's almost like the game is programmed around him.
Setting such mysteries aside for the present, I have a task for you. I would like you to deliver these documents to Slathborn. They concern our forthcoming move. Do take care on the road and represent us well, Brick.
Yes, the road, which I'm definitely going to be taking. The road. I'm walking along it right now. On the road again. Can't wait to be on the road again. Just boy, walking. Oh, wow, whew. Hey, Slathborn, I just walked in.
I was told to expect a Scion, but I didn't expect it to be you. Yeah, it's been far too long, Brick. You have something for me, yes?
Yes, here, have a letter.
Let's see, though. Yes, everything appears to be in order. You'll be staying with us for a while, yes? We had a dozen more like you. Since we don't, though, we'll just give you the work of a dozen men. I just. Back to do the work of a dozen men, I see. But I just. Even I can appreciate that an important man such as yourself has little time for menial tasks. But since you're here, mayhap you'd be keen on having a look around the site's new home? See that impressive structure over there? That's the place. It was originally built to house a branch of the guild, you see. As such, it comes complete with a tavern where adventurers can rest on the road, fill their bellies with good food and drink, and their ears with tales of fortune to be had about the realm. It may get a bit raucous at times, but I imagine it'll be as good a place as any to recruit capable men and women to your cause. Come with me, I'll show you around.
Is that you, Brick? I'm quite sorry to interrupt, but I have the most urgent news. We received grim tidings from Gadania, and it would appear our aid is required at once. I must ask you to report back to the Waking Sands with all due haste.
Come on, I just got here. I walked all of this way? I strode along the road on my own two legs for so long to get here, and now I must go back all at once? Honestly.
Is everything quite all right, my friend? No, I can't say I'm privy to the details, but it would appear this is no time for a leisurely tour. But no worries, you can rest assured that I'll see to all necessary arrangements. Pray return anytime after you've seen to your more pressing matters.
The plot gets a bit choppy. They've taken out a lot of filler. Yeah, they've streamlined it a lot, right? Like they've like taken out a whole bunch of like fetch quests and shit that used to be there. All right, who's been murdered?
Messenger from the Twin Adder came to the Waking Sands while you were in Mordona. I wasn't privy to his conversation with the antecedent, but I did see a look on her face after he took his leave. Something is definitely amiss. Could it be that Ixshala summoned Garuda again? Or mayhap Imperial forces have been sighted within the Shroud? Well, whatever it may be, I'm absolutely certain it's nothing you can't handle. Now go ask the antecedent if there's anything you can do.
Let's have a better look at Minfilia's mom here. Yeah, very plain. Like, very... Again, this is, like, in an effort to make her look older. They've really sort of chosen, like, the most conservative, plain, boring dress they could possibly put on her. Whereas, if she was wearing anything like what Minfilia is wearing, right? Like, like, anything that flatters her figure a little bit more, anything that, like, she would... Again, the thing would happen where you would notice the texture and just how fucking young she looks too much. Like, you just would not be able to buy the idea of her as, like, an older woman. Like, it would be... She would look like Yushchola, basically. Mikota, like Vieira, they don't get old. Yeah, but that's a design choice. Like, that's the thing, is like anytime you get these games where like you have these ageless like characters, that's a character design choice. Every time it's a character design choice to put that thing down to justify, hey, everyone looks young and hot because magic, eternal beauty. Like, it's a design choice, and it's a tedious one a little bit because like it would be nice if more media, if more games, if more places in the world in general had room for, you know, aging and deterioration. And like just the facts of physical existence in a prison of flesh, you know? Like, we are all deteriorating. And we all, like, everyone is fundamentally flawed physically. That's just the nature of being a person. And the thing is, like, the trouble is that there's just, like, in so much media, and especially, like Japanese media is especially guilty of this, but it exists everywhere. Like anime as an aesthetic just kind of especially doesn't have room for that imperfection. Like, it really doesn't have room for that depiction of aging. Like, and that's inherent to, like, the stylized, not all anime, but, like, a lot of anime, the stylization that they use simply doesn't allow for the stylization of signs of aging in the same way. And it's a major limitation of a lot of it. That makes a lot of it, like, very sort of flat and boring in a lot of ways. You get older people in Heavensward and fat people in Shadowbringers. Well, that's nice. It's nice that they're expanding it. Like, that they're working on making it a little bit more inclusive as time goes on, because, like, it really is one of those things about, like, MMOs especially an MMO like this. Like, I was already disappointed that I couldn't be a female Hrothgar, right? Like, I was already disappointed that they sort of put arbitrary restrictions. I was disappointed that you get one body type for each one, and that's it. Like, every single Hrothgar runs around with exactly the same hyper burly, like, big chunky brick shithouse body type. And that's, like, when MMOs are so much about self-expression, like, there's so much about making your character and customizing them. We talked about this a lot on these streams, is, like, I look at people's amazing fashion and the way that they design themselves, and, like, the thing that's missing from that is the ability to express that self-creation with the body itself. Like, there's so much customization available for clothes, but not for the body itself. Calling it arbitrary is unfair. It's a lot of work. No, it's not unfair. You're right. It's a lot of work, absolutely. But this is a matter of prioritization. This is a matter of what do you prioritize when you make the game? And there are choices that are made. Like, choices are made about, we don't need to put resources and time and effort into creating multiple body morphs and, like, building the systems that are necessary in order to be able to put out different outfits on all these different body morphs. Like, that's a thing that they chose not to spend resources on, right? And spending the resources there would have meant compromising on something else, but that's the thing, is, like, they made the decision that something else somewhere was more important than that. That, like, yeah, fuck, just give one body type for each one, and everyone has the same body type in the game. And it's not important that people get, like, to have multiple... It's not that important that people get to have multiple choices in terms of how they present their bodies. It's mostly important how they present their aesthetics and their looks. And, of course, the corollary to that is that if you want to have people grinding in your game, if you want to have people playing it and get, like, really engaged with it, a good way is to say, hey, if you go complete this long-ass dungeon, you get a special piece of cosmetic gear that you could use for your character, right? It's also a good way to make money, is to sell those clothes cosmetics. So, like, when it's this thing of, like, they chose not to spend resources on multiple body types, but they did spend a lot of resources on making as many fucking pieces of gear as possible. That's not a value-neutral choice. That's a choice that, like, aligns with economic incentives and shit like that. So it's like, which is not to blame the creators. Like, presumably they did what they needed to do in order to save the sinking ship of this game. But it is a thing that sort of speaks to how these production processes work, right? Like, what kind of money you're allowed to allocate to different things for the games. And for me, like, in an MMO especially, like, the ability to self-create is, like, paramount. Like, that's a big feature. And I think it makes Final Fantasy XIV measurably a much worse game that you can't change your character's body type. Like, measurably, it is a worse game because of it. And that's a valid criticism. That doesn't mean the game is bad as a whole. It just, like, it's one of those things of, like, it would be so much better if that ability was there, if the priority had been there on making this possible. And now, another consequence of not implementing it early on is that if they want to create multiple body types for characters now, that means they have to go through all of the cosmetics. All of, like, every single outfit, every single version of an outfit, every single physics engine thing that happens anywhere on anything. They need to go through all of that and make sure that that on the new body type, it doesn't clip. They need to go through all of the character animations and make sure that on the new body type, it doesn't look weird and awkward that a character is moving in a certain way that they might not be able to do. And if they had prioritized that from the start, like from the very start, from Final Fantasy 1.0, had prioritized having those systems implemented into the character models and, like, built it up from scratch to include that as a design priority, like, that huge burden of work that they've got ahead of them now, where if they want to include more body types, they have to adjust, like, all of the previous content has to be adjusted to fit that, to work with those things, which is a huge burden of work, don't get me wrong. But that burden of work, not that it wouldn't exist, but it would be less. Like there are things you can do in a production process early on to make that more doable. Like, you can build the tools, you can build the production pipelines to make that happen. And again, Final Fantasy XIV, famously not a very well-managed production at all. A garbage fire that was sinking into a river of shit that they had to rescue. So, like, yes, I completely understand why this has not happened, but it's a thing of, like, it remains a valid criticism that really should be leveled at it, especially when it's becoming, like, quickly the biggest MMO in the world. Like, it's not overtaking World of Warcraft anytime soon, but, you know. The point you're making is moot, as the current production team was not who they now are. No, it's the same product. I'm not criticizing the production team, I'm criticizing the product. And they are responsible for the product, and the criticism is valid. Like, the criticism still holds. It's not really a moot point, it's a thing that is still true. 1.0 had things like flower pots with as many polygons as a character model. Yeah, I heard about that. That's fucking amazing. Oh, Lord. But yeah, like as Final Fantasy XIV becomes more and more successful, I think they have less and less of an excuse. Like, the more profitable this thing becomes, like, the more they have to... Like, the less I feel compelled to accept justifications for why they won't put resources into these things. But, you know, that's just my criticism.
I knew this day would come, yet I prayed it would not come so soon. We have reason to believe that another Primal, or an entity resembling one, has been summoned in Gridania.
Thine arrival is uncustomarily timely, Brick. The etheric waves leave little room for doubt. Thy talons will be needed ere long. If there be truth in my suspicions, 'tis a familiar foe we face, though one quite unlike the Lady of the Vortex.
We dare not draw conclusions without evidence, but as Urianger says, the readings bear a strong resemblance to ones observed more than 5 years ago. I'd hope the Moogles guard beyond such folly.
Or the Moogles guard. Moogles guard? Are they like... Are Muggles to Moogles what Waluigi is to Luigi?
Suffice it to say, this disturbance warrants a full investigation.
Thy presence hath been requested by Commander Helua. He awaiteth thee by the Adder's Nest.
Pray hasten to Gridania, Brick. Ida and Papalima will rendezvous with you there. May you walk in the light of the crystal.
Sky and voice acting the characters is better than ARR voiceover. Sometimes, like, I agree, some of my voice acting probably is a little bit better, but for the most part, no. For the most part, like, the voice actors were giving... Like, they were giving the performance that they were asked to give. And, like, it wasn't great, but, like, it wasn't terrible. Like, it was journeyman work. No worse than a lot of anime adaptations I could name. Oh, shit. Nice shirt. Is this a Kazuma Kiryu cosplay? You're not. God damn it! God damn it! Fuck! God damn it! Oh Lord! It just looks so funny on a fucking Lalafell. Oh fuck me. Oh shit! I could definitely cosplay Kazuma Kiryu as like a cat man with Brick. I could definitely do that. A pleasure to see you as always, Rick. Thank you for answering my summons. Quite frankly, I could think of no one more qualified. Oh, wow, but we're getting ahead of ourselves. Allow me to explain. Please do. I have to imagine that that weapon will also be a lot worse than what I've got. Yeah. Oh, it is the Moogles. Okay. Not long ago, the Moogle Kuplokop visited the Adder's Nest to request an audience with the Elder Seatsia. He spoke of an imminent threat to all Moogle kind, one which would imperil his entire 12's wood if left unchecked. You proved an able ambassador to the Sylphs, and we would have you reprise the role in our dealings with the Moogles. The rest you should hear from Kuplokop himself. Kuplokop. They're not... It's not a... That's not supposed to be a pun on Kublai Khan, right? He awaits you with the Elder Seatsia at the Lotus Stand. I have mail. I should probably check that. It's a me, Mario. Woohoo! A wahoo, I believe a wahoo is actually a real fish.
Hey, how's it going?
Fucking hell.
The other scions have already arrived, sir. May I show you in?
Let's see. Ah, Kane Senna. The biggest victim of the voice acting direction in this game.
Please, you have to stop them. You mustn't kill them. They're not bad Moogles. Come on. They're just misguided. A gentle, firm thrashing is in order. Yes, but no.
Calm yourself, Kuplokop. Can't you not see it's not the faintest idea what you're talking about? Be quiet this instant. Pray forgive his witless outburst, sister.
Most grateful I am that you have come, Brick, and upon such short notice. Truly, Gridania could not wish for a more stalwart ally.
Trying to match the mood of her voice acting.
But you are doubtless eager to know wherefore we summoned you. Our friend Kuplokop has brought us news of a most unsettling development. It would seem that the good King Moogle Mok XII has returned to Eorzea.
Muggle Mog. Okay. Good King Muggle Mog. Okay.
A curious thing to hear, I know. Truth to tell, I myself cannot say for sure if he's a genuine figure from history or some manifestation of Moogle mythology. Kuplo here would have me believe the former.
Once upon a time, we Moogles served the gods in the heavens. It was quite nice up there. Unspeakably beautiful, unimaginably spacious, and with a literally endless supply of wine. Whoop. In spite of this, or possibly because of the last part, the gods eventually became disoriented and started squabbling, which made life jolly difficult for the poor Moogles. So, good King Moogle Mok XII, may his glorious name live forever, decreed that the time has come to leave. Whoop. The realm of man would suffice, he said, so all the Moogles should live there instead. Unfortunately, the two realms are so far apart that we couldn't safely fly down. But good King Moogle Mok XII, may his miraculous foresight ever be praised, knew exactly what to do. He had a rope, you see, the longest one ever woven. This he nobly held while his subject climbed all the way down to the world below. And that is how we Moogles came to this land. All of us, except good King Moogle Mok XII, may his courageous sacrifice never be forgotten.
He alone would remain in the heavens, so that Mooglekind might last no peace. Except that he has not remained in the heavens, from what I understand. That being your reason for contacting us, yes?
Am I gonna have to kick a Moogle's ass? I'd feel really bad about that.
I'll bet he tied the rope to something. Good thinking. Remind me again what the problem was with him returning to Eorzea? The problem, Ida, lies in the fact that he was summoned. It is our belief that Good King Muggle XII is a myth made manifest via means akin to those employed by the beast tribes in the summoning of their gods.
Wait, you're saying a boatload of Moogles with a boatload of crystals wished really, really hard and he just sort of appeared? Would that even work? What I cannot fathom is why they would even try. With Garuda humbled and the ultimate weapon destroyed, what new threat could have prompted them to take so drastic a measure?
Might that not itself be the answer? Twice in the last decade, Eorzea has been brought onto the very brink of destruction, only to be spared at last by the heroics of a chosen few. To you, who braved the tempest and survived by virtue of your own strength, this latest period of peace will doubtless seem a welcome respite. But to those who had not the power to defend themselves, who were spared only by another's grace, this is merely the calm before the storm. I think the Muggles God are afraid of what tomorrow will bring, and the things may not end so well as they did yesterday. That fear has driven them to call upon a greater power, one they believe can be relied upon to protect their loved ones and homes come what may.
I assure you, the Muggles Guard only wants to protect the forest from outsiders. But ever since the return of Good King Muggle XII, may his boundless grace fill our hearts with love, they've started to get a little carried away. Urging a lot, in fact.
Like the sylphs who summoned Ramo, you mean?
We cannot discount the possibility that this the entity is influencing the Moogles in a similar manner to that of a Primal.
We share the same concern. Whoever or whatever the king may be, it is our belief that he poses a threat not only to Mooglekind, but to Gridania as a whole. Thus do we beseech you, Brick, confront Good King Muggle XII, and drive him from our midst.
Am I gonna have to fight a Moogle? I really don't want to fight Moogles.
Humbly do I thank you. The sanctuary of the Muggles God and their liege lord is concealed by magical wards. Brother Isumiyana of the Conjurers Guild will doubtless be able to offer insights on how they might be dispelled. Pray seek his counsel ere you proceed any further.
Oh, I hope I don't have to do too many more Moogle voices. That's a little bit rough on my throat.
Welcome, Brick. Welcome. That you should be the one to face Good King Muggle is of great comfort to me and to the elementals both. Yes, as I'm sure you know, the Moogles are not by their nature a warlike race. Yet, should the king be suffered to remain, it is likely that his influence will bring about a change in them. Thus, does it behoove us to defeat him quickly, before any lasting damage is done. Make whatever preparations you deem necessary and inform me when you are ready to seek the king.
The wards barring access to the King's Sanctuary can only be nullified through the use of enchanted keystones, the self-same method employed 5 years ago when the King was summoned to Eorzea. It was with great regret that we were forced to sanction the slaying of the Guardians who then held the keystones, for none were in our possession at the time. By the grace of the elementals, however, we've been spared that burden on this occasion. Kubla Kop confided in me that he'd been entrusted with a set of keystones by the Muggles Guard themselves. Yet, wishing not to betray their confidence, he begged me to find some other means to gain entry to the King's Sanctum. Alas, I have been able to do so, and dare not labor any longer, for fear that the Moogles might succumb to the corrupting influence of their liege lord. We must needs have Kubla Kop's keystones, Brick. Pray go to him, and beg his assistance. He awaits you at Whetstone Pier. Impress upon him our great need, and I'm certain he will yield.
You have selected Regicide. Press 5 for Regicide. Thank you for calling the Scions of the Seventh Dawn. If you require help with a Primal, press 1. If you require help with Regicide, press 2.
So, what are you doing? Come on. Oh, you told you about that? Well, if there's truly no other way, I'll do it. Oh, take the ferry to Sweet Moon Pier. I'll go on ahead.
Oh my god, they're huge! Holy shit!
Imperials, Britannians, Sylphs, you're no different from the rest of them. Actually, you're worse, Kubo. Rider to the King's Mortals, he plots treason against the crown.
Enough! Kubla Cobb will answer for his crimes soon enough, as will all who defy the rule of good King Ragalok the 12th may reign forevermore. Kapo!
Planning to purchase the 12th foot of his enemies. Cool. We've got to stop him before it's too late.
Oh, good lord.
The entrance to the Thorn March is deep within the Bramble Patch, Kubo. If you take me there, I can nullify the ward. But be warned, the Moogles guard is set trap to lure enchanted beasts. I can't hide from them, so you'll need to protect me, Kubo.
Escort Kuplo Cop safely to the warded entrance. Should you fail to defend him or move too far away, he will return to Sweet Bloom Pier, where you may rendezvous with him before trying again.
Oh, goody.
Right. So you're just gonna follow. Oh, love me an escort quest. Faster, faster? I agree, but, like, it's kind of up to you there, buddy. Malevolent squirrel. Okay. Oh, I see I am awaited. Let's see, what do we have here? What on earth are you wearing? I can hardly tell through all the glitter. What in the... Is that a little, like, onesie? Oh, it's a pig's tail. Okay, I see. It's a little piggy. That's distressingly cute. Who am I talking to here? Oh, okay, I just needed to click the barrier.
Kubo, you don't see any more beasts, do you? You need to face the king and step closer to the ward. Raise your hand and focus, like when you attune to an aetherite. Kubo, I'll open the way for you.
I assume that this opens... a dungeon or something? Yep, looks like it.
The rest is up to you. Kubo, now go and teach those foolish Moogles a lesson and sing the king back whence he came.
Thorn March hard. Da 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 da. Boys and girls of every age, wouldn't you like to see something strange? Come with us and you will see this town of Moogle Wing.
The adventures I'd wager. Moogles guards to arms, defend the king, Kubo.
Oh man, I have to, aw. Aw. This literally is. Wow, this is very Nightmare Before Christmas. Holy shit. No, this is like fully an interpolation of the Kingdom Hearts 2 Christmas Town, like, Halloween Town music. Some of that is. Damn, okay. Well, alright. Oh, should put Defiance on, shouldn't I? We're just gonna say that we just knocked them out, right? Like, yeah, okay, good. No Moogle murder on this stream. Man, the fucking names on these things. And all of their abilities are like puns. Oh my god. Oh, there it is. I recognize that now. Now we've moved on to quoting from the Moogle theme. Ever dance with a Moogle in the pale moonlight? Is that the fucking Moogle Joker? What?
You can suffer for your transgressions against my spirits.
Oh my god. Oh lord, let's zoom out a little bit because I can't see jack shit in here. And I seem to be stunned, so that's not great. Jesus. But yeah, I absolutely do notice that each of them are a specific Final Fantasy class. Like, we've got Warrior, we've got Thief, we got Black Mage, White Mage. I absolutely do notice that. But no, yeah, definitely need to zoom out more. A Mellifluous Muktana. Can't use it, because I'm not a whatever it is that uses that thing, samurai. But I'll bring him along in case I ever play samurai, why not? Oh, Esther went down. Oh lord, this is... Oh god, raid. Oh, raid of 3, okay. Just for a second. Welcome along. Hello, Threepster and people.
You did it! Come on! You did it! Good King Moogle, may his mighty soul rest in peace, is no more! I shudder to think what might have happened. I did not stop the Moogles back when you did. Thank you, Brick.
What's with the music?
Perhaps now they'll come to their senses and stop playing at fairy tales. Rest assured that the chieftain will have choice words for them too. You should go and tell Pokeypack that the king is no more. Come on. She's with Ryo at the Camp Tranquil and can relay the news to the chieftain.
Oh god, no more Moogle voices though, please. Okay. Yeah, well, that's a mount. Is that a two-person mount too? Oh my lord. Oh lord. Oh, well, that's magnificent. Oh, getting carried by a gorilla. That's kind of cute. Thank you for the help, everyone. To Camp Tranquil.
Beneath my ears, good King Moogle the 12th and his magnificent virtue save as an example to us all, has fallen. Oh, Moogle kind, I should wonder. Come on. Ah, and since Ryo wishes to congratulate you as well, I shall let the two of you speak without fear of interruption.
Your bravery in service to the Twelveswood and her Moogles shall not be forgotten, Brick. My sister will doubtless wish to hear the tale of the great victory from the mouth of the man responsible. Pray return to the Lotus Stand and treat her to the full account of the day's events, while the details are yet fresh in your mind.
Yeah, I went and I just kicked the shit out of some Moogles. Absolutely wrecked their entire day, and broke all their bones, and ground them into the dirt where they belong.
The elder Seatseer is expecting you, sir. May I show you in?
Hey, county setup, bro. I totally fucking wrecked those Moogles, man. Just absolutely kicked their shit in. Even when they screamed for me to stop, I didn't stop.
Brick, you are returned to us, unharmed and victorious. Thus, I have 2 reasons to be glad. Yet, many questions remain unanswered. If you would be so kind as to oblige me, I would fain hear all that occurred in the Thornmarsh. Then it is as we feared.
The king really is a primal.
But he really isn't, is he? I mean, the Moogles don't worship him for one thing. He's not even a god to them. That doesn't sound like any primal I've ever heard of.
A primal in the same sense, I suppose, as Gilgamesh's companion became a primal. Like, that he summoned, How on earth am I blanking on the name of Gilgamesh's companion? Like, it's the fucking most famous other part of the story. Enkidu! Right.
Then mayhap the fault lies with the definition. The fact remains that through their combination of the power contained in the crystals, and by the force of their collective faith, the Moogles called forth a being that by right should not exist. Moreover, when slain, said being left no corpse. The ether which comprised him instead being scattered to the 4 winds.
According to the accepted definition, he may not be a primal, but the mode of his manifestation was in every respect the same. Which means...
Ascians, this whole business reeks of their handiwork.
They said it was a masked man who had taught them how years ago, but Britannia has no shortage of masked men, and I never thought to question.
Confound it all, how many more will they ensnare with their tainted gifts?
Too many, I fear. So long as they're paragons to stir the embers, fools to build the pyre, and crystals to feed the flames, ever and again shall we suffer primal visitation. A subtle thought, but a salutary one. My heartfelt thanks, Brick. Already the information you have provided has proven invaluable. The Grand Serpent Marshal and I have much to discuss. Oh, before you do, my lady, I was hoping we might finish discussing that other matter. The matter of which you speak has even now been settled. The Scions shall not want for support. We shall be glad to send additional supplies to Revenant's Toll. I knew we could count on you, my lady.
While Ida and I remain to discuss the particulars of our arrangement with the Elder Seatsia, mayhap you could return to the Waking Sands and apprise the antecedent of all that has transpired.
Sure, I'll be your messenger boy. It was Ascians all along. Oh my god. That does seem like a song parody that would do some numbers on YouTube, right? Who's been ruining everything? It was Ascians all along.
It is good to see you, Hell and Hearthy Brick. I received word from Ida and Papalima that you had filled Good King Moogle Mock III.
12th, rather.
But I'd hoped to hear your version of the tale. So it was as they said, summoned with the same methods used by the Beast Tribes and taught by the Ascians. Though unfortunate, this incident did at least serve to remind the Elder Seatsia of our usefulness. Her offer of additional support could not have come at a better time. My thanks, Brick.
Hooray! Okay. Well, we've completed a bunch of quests along the way of getting through the patch content now, so this seems like as good a place as any to cut an episode. Let's put some light on that boy. And if you've enjoyed hanging out with me in the world of Final Fantasy XIV, you can hit the like, comment, and or subscribe buttons down below. And yeah, what else am I supposed to say? Right, if you want to watch episodes of this show early, you can become a member of the channel, which will give you early access to episodes of the show, as I said. And if you want to watch them being recorded live, you can head on over to twitch.tv/tvskyne, where I record the episodes live. It seems rather self-explanatory, all of it, doesn't it? Anyway, thank you very much for watching. Remember to wear a mask, wash your hands, take vaccines, do all of it, and act with solidarity towards those who are worse off than yourselves.